level setting. Before I go into that, please like this video, subscribe, and if you need help, I've funded multiple Apex accounts at this point, made $1,400 today on the funded accounts, and would love to teach you how to do that. Right now I'm going to start with teaching you how to set levels. So what I did was create a completely clean SPY chart, and this is from a monthly view. So when I'm setting levels, I start out with a monthly view. First thing I'm going to do is just draw my trend line. Boom. Right. Take my trend lines, go here, and monthly. I like to create them in an orange color, just so like when I'm putting the different levels on my chart and I'm drawing trend lines, I want them to be different colors. Different colors mean different things to me, and orange means it's a monthly trend line. And I extend it all the way because even though we may break this, still a possibility it would come up and test. So then I'm looking at, I'm not going to really worry about any other trend lines. I mean, I could draw this one from here to here, but this one's really better. It's the most recent, goes back about 6-7 months, and so I like that better. What I'm looking for on, support and resistance levels, which I think a lot of people struggle with, is just looking at, what has been a monthly support and what has been a monthly resistance, and I look over at these gaps to see if there are any, previous gaps that haven't been filled. Looks like pretty well every gap was filled. As you can see, there's a small gap right there, but we filled that just recently. So, I say recently, months ago. So what I'm looking for is just some levels that, like that. You see how we have multiple different levels. It provided support, right? We couldn't go through it. We tried to, came back, and it was supported. And the next month we actually did drop through it, but not before we went up here, and then came back down, and then closed right here. And that's where we kind of are today after the huge drop that we had from FOMC. There's another one that I like, and I'm just gonna kind of go over and see, where I'm fishing, right? You got to fish with your lines. So look at that. That seems like a good one. So right here, we actually tried to go back down, found support, went up, and we didn't stop going up. So this is a strong support. It's a strong support. And so you see we went there, and every time that we've tried to go below it, we went up pretty strong. And when we went down below it, we've actually went down pretty well. Right here we went up, went through it, and obviously this is a good support resistance line. Let's see if we can find one more. I'm seeing I'm looking for my swing high, swing lows. So this is pretty good swing low right here. And you can see we rejected off that line multiple times. So that would pretty much be all I wanted to do. Well, we could go up to 418. So where we're at right now, I'm just trying to grab those levels, make it logical to, boom, there you go, 417. I don't see us going over 417, but that gives us 4 good solid monthly levels that are really far apart. And if you wanted to swing trade, you want to beat this level right here and then possibly go up, but you have this trend line resistance that's going to come into play. Like I said, you may break these, and I don't erase them, I don't delete them, because what happens is you come down and retest them. It counters what it used to be. So it's like a magnetic pole. Once it breaks through that resistance, it comes back into support. So then I'll go into the daily, or weekly, sorry. Let's go into the weekly, and get a good viewpoint of where we're kind of at from a weekly level. I really take my trend lines and I make them a little bit more accurate. And then I kind of look at my levels that I drew on the monthly and see if they make sense, and they really do. I mean, you can see a lot of support, resistance, support, 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 resistance, resistance, resistance. Same thing here, support, 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 resistance, resistance, resistance. So that's what I'm looking for. So our trend lines are good. Now on the weekly scale, I'm just looking at a smaller time frame here, just to make sure that I've captured everything that I wanted to capture on the larger time frames. And really, I like this. This shows where my buy side liquidity on the weekly level would be. So if we were really going to come up high up here, we would grab some liquidity at the top most likely. And we have here, this is what this is. So if you wanted to, you could create a little zone right here. And this is a supply zone, right? So this is where we're going to come in and we're going to take, the stops out for puts and basically move the market down. And that's what they did, right? You got little, right here. There's some more. But don't really worry about that. And I color these red just to show that they're a liquidity zone that I need to potentially be very mindful of. If we hit that we could possibly reverse. And typically I'll put a level right here, but I'll just leave it alone. But you could put a level right there at 412 because that's where you stopped, and you've actually tried to go up above that a few times, but you grab liquidity instead and work your way down. Then I'll be looking for a couple of fair value gaps if there are any. There is one right here. You can see it, kind of filled it. I'm not going to worry about it, but fair value gaps do come into play as you move up. If you went above 417, then I'd be looking for this gap to get filled. But right now that is not a current scenario with the way the market is and the huge drop off that we had today. So everything looks good. I mean, I only want a couple of levels from the larger time frame. I don't want to go into, just getting a bunch of levels on my chart and, making it look crazy. So, let's make this a little bit wider since now that we're on the daily. So on the daily, I'm looking for swings, right? So there's my swing high. There's some good support resistance on this line right here. Probably started somewhere way out here. And let's see. Right there, maybe? Right there. So as you can see, we stopped here, rejected. We went above it, and then we went below it a little bit, and then we dropped all the way down, came back up, and then it provided support. And then this line looks really good because it provided support up here. And we had to break it, and it provided support. We actually went back through the support, went down as resistance. This is probably a good level, right about, let's see, I actually like a lot of these. And I want to find the one that's kind of where we actually stop and get rejected. It looks like a liquidity grab. That's a good one. Because look here, we had stopped right here, and then we have to kind of fight to get through these areas, but we stop, dead stop, liquidity, all the way down. And then you see these levels, grabbing liquidity, moving down all the way. So that's our daily time frame. Let's see if we can find one more. Nah. I like these levels just for daily. I want space for my trades to breathe. And right here we're just getting a ton of consolidation. You can see we go down, we go up, go down, we go up, go down, kind of flagging here. right? And so what I want to do is draw a trend line. I could draw it from all the way to the top up here. What I want it to do is touch as many wicks as possible. Many wicks as possible. And you can see that I'm going through one of those candles up there. Really don't care about that. I want to show where we are rejecting, and we're touching a lot of candles. But I like this. I like this one right here. This is probably really good, and I keep that one purple for my dailies. And then there. So now I have a good range, right? This is where we stopped today. We actually went up a little bit. The after hours we're probably moving down some more. We'll probably break this trend tonight and, you know, go into this area and see if we test off this support. And this is very long-term support. And then we have this level here. So I'll be looking for, you know, SPY to potentially go down in the next 2 days and bounce somewhere right here and look for a call to take back up to 395 if that's what happens. Because right now we're just consolidating. I mean, that's a lot of consolidation, but in an uptrend despite, you know, today's result, which was really bad for the market. And then you got a little gap right here, but that got filled. And we are creating a fair value gap. Wherever we start tomorrow, there will be a gap here that I would put a gray box in to cover that gap. Like I said, go to the 4 hour and I start looking at just, you know, my swings. Basically, I want to catch my swings. There's a nice swing low right there. Let's see if we can find a really good spot to where really like that level the best out of what I'm looking at so far. Actually, that one's probably most likely that's the best one, because look, we tried to go up, rejected, and then we finally pushed through, found support, then pushed through again, rejected, pushed through. So this is a good spot, and you can see our previous levels was a previous resistance that turned into support, so our levels look good there. And let's see if we can find another one in the middle here, just to give us a level that we can play off of with price action. That one's pretty decent, but it's just too close to, yeah. This is actually a good one, 391. And we'll try leaving it at that. So you kind of have your levels to play at with SPY. You know, you have a big, huge gap down here. Maybe there's a place that we could really put one more. You know, not a lot of action down here, but we still want a place that we're gonna find a good level. Probably looking at that 384 would be the best, right? Because this seems like we tried to push through here. We found that trend line support, and then we tried to push through here. Look, we couldn't go below it again. Found trend line support. So that's leveling. I mean, it's pretty simple. You just want to, you know, touch as many wicks as possible. You want your levels to be support and resistance. You want them to be in line with really like change of characters, you know, where they turn from support to resistance or bullish to bearish. Typically they're associated with, you know, order blocks. Like this is an order block, and so basically good level. And look, I mean, still This has to be an order block to break it, right? And so that's something I look for as well. I look for order blocks to break these significant levels. So, hope you learned something, and if you need help, funding an Apex trading account, I strongly suggest you join our Discord. I do one-on-one mentorships with the people that I have. The chat is free. There's a lot of free advice in there that you can take advantage of. Please like, subscribe, share this video with people. Our group is small. We're not overly large. We don't have like 5,000 people in our group, so it allows me to be really hands-on. And like I said, most of the content is free. I'm creator of the Pam and Mark indicators. Well, the concept, Chimmy is the designer, so he's the co-creator, and he does all the development work. And look, man, we have a very positive Discord. You would really enjoy it. So I hope to see you in there, and I'll put a link in the video for you to subscribe to it. You hear my dog in the background. Every time I get on any kind of call, he thinks that he needs to put his voice in too. So if you watch my videos, just get used to hearing the dog in the background. But no, I guess one thing I did forget was putting a supplies or demand zone. And a demand zone is just simply where we grab liquidity. You can see it right here. You don't want to overcomplicate this process. It's not really complicated, and levels, they can be specific, but you want them to just know around where things are going to reverse and where they have in the past, right? You're just using this as a roadmap. Think of this as a football field. This is your visitor end zone, this is your home end zone, and you're just trying to play between these football fields. And as you get more liquidity right here, this turned into a little supply zone for right now. You got buy side liquidity right there. They took out a ton of stops with FOMC, and look at where we rejected at FOMC today. Look at that. I mean, boom, bam. So it's just really good stuff. Trend lines are your friend, and you definitely want to use them in your trading journey. And this was a liquidity to grab as well. You see how we did that. We went right back up. I could actually draw another green zone right here, but I'm just going to leave it alone. Tomorrow the market seems to be dumping, and I think that we will go through this. This will be hard to get through because we will consolidate a little bit through here to make that into resistance. It'll turn into resistance from where it's support now, but that's part of the game. And like I said, please join the Discord. Please check out my Twitter profile. I have a use ThinkScript page for the Pam and Mark indicators that you can use. I'll put all of those links in the description, and I hope this was super helpful. And please just leave comments and stuff. I'm trying to make a video once per day. I'm going to make 90 of them in 90 days, hopefully. So I hope that you really enjoyed the video, and that I'll see you soon.